One of Lexington's largest employers has agreed to be sold. What the sale means for Lexmark employees.
We're tracking an investigation into a double shooting in Lexington. Details coming up.
Richmond police handed out more than 100 citations at a college bar early Saturday morning. Coming up, I'll tell you why.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening to you. We saw another gorgeous day here in the Bluegrass. We enjoyed some more summer-like weather.
That we did, but it is spring here in Kentucky. We're also tracking some rain trying to move into this week. And we begin with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey, with your no-wait weather forecast. Chris?
Yeah, trying being the operative word right now, guys. It is a summer-like pattern across Kentucky. We've been in this now for the past 3 days. Big storm system well out to our west. We are on the good side of that with a southerly wind flow that is ready to kick in. Now, it's a warm flow already, and eventually some of the rains that are well off to the west of us will scoot into central and eastern Kentucky. Right now, a little clutter around the radar sites and a mostly cloudy sky, keeping temperatures into the mid to upper 60s, even near 70 in a few spots late this evening. Jackson, are you kidding? 73 degrees still at this late evening hour. Lexington at 65 degrees. Our traditional cool spots, Danville and Mount Sterling, both checking in at 59 degrees. Those thermometer readings are down in valleys. That's where that cooler air tends to settle. Now, first thing tomorrow morning, let's walk you through your Wednesday. It's upper 50s to start. Watch how quickly the numbers climb into the mid and upper 70s by noontime. And tomorrow afternoon, hey, it's game on again for low 80s to show up across most of central and eastern Kentucky. Now, when I come back in just a few minutes at 11:13, a new hour-by-hour forecast is in, guys. It has the rain chances, and we will show you how those slowly increase over the next several days.
Chris, thank you. We are tracking two breaking news alerts out of Lexington. We have learned tonight that Lexmark International has agreed to merge with an overseas company.
Apex Technology and PAG Asia Capital will merge with Lexmark. Sabira Rayford tells us what this means for Lexmark employees.
The board of directors at Lexmark, one of Lexington's largest employers, all agreed to the sale. Lexmark will be acquired by the China-based company Apex Technologies for a deal estimated at $3.6 billion. According to a news release, Apex manufactures cartridges for both inkjet and laser printers and is looking to expand into a multinational company. Mayor Jim Gray released the following statement today saying, quote, Lexmark and IBM before them have been valued members of our corporate community for many years. I look forward to a productive, positive relationship between Lexington and Apex Technologies and PAG. Mayor Gray also said that the deal won't have a significant impact on employment. The merger still needs approval from Lexmark shareholders. The deal is expected to close later this year. In the newsroom, Sabira Rayford, WKYT.
And the company will remain headquartered in Lexington. You can read more about the sale now on WKYT.com.
Also breaking tonight, two people have been rushed to the hospital after a shooting in Lexington tonight. It happened at a home on Warnock Street near Midland Avenue. Police tell us that no one has been arrested yet. Garrett Weimer has the breaking details.
Warnock Street runs between 2nd Street and 3rd Street. There's a towing business on the corner here, but mostly it's homes that line both sides of the street all the way down. And it's here police are investigating a double shooting. Police say the shooting happened at 5 o'clock, but investigators remained on the scene for hours, talking to anyone who might have seen or heard anything. Investigators say two people were shot inside a home here, one in the groin, the other twice in the leg. Police say the suspect and the victims knew each other, and investigators believe the shooting could be tied to some sort of criminal activity. They say the suspect got away, running out the back of the house. Police say investigators did not find a weapon at the scene. They blocked off Warnock Street for hours between Goodloe and 3rd while they talked to witnesses and continued investigating. Police say the shooting is still under investigation. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
The fire department told us tonight the two victims were taken to UK hospital, one with serious injuries, the other with life-threatening injuries. Also new tonight, Lexington police investigating a deadly crash that has shut down a road. It happened about 7:30 tonight near Old Richmond Road and Grimes Mill Road. Firefighters say a truck collided with a motorcycle. Police tell us the truck was heading south, crossed the center line, and hit the motorcycle head-on. The driver of the motorcycle died at the scene. His name has not been released. A passenger on the motorcycle and the driver of that truck were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A political war is brewing between Governor Bevin's administration and former Governor Steve Beshear's administration.
Today, Governor Bevin announced he will hire a private law firm to investigate his Democratic predecessor for what he calls potentially illegal practices. He says the investigation is needed because of evidence of irregularities his administration found since he's been in office. The governor says the Beshear administration issued no-bid contracts to benefit friends and forced state workers to make political donations to Democratic candidates, including Attorney General Andy Beshear.
We've seen enough at this point to know that this is a serious problem. I am asking Attorney General Andy Beshear to return these thousands and thousands of dollars of questionable contributions if he has not already done so.
Attorney General Andy Beshear says the investigation should be done by the Independent Ethics Commission, not a cabinet that answers to the governor. Former Governor Steve Beshear calls the accusations a, quote, pathetic spectacle. He adds at some point Matt Bevin has to realize there is a time to campaign and a time to govern. Attacking me in an effort to distract the public from his Benifine debacle and his plan to strip away health care from hundreds of thousands of Kentuckians will not work, end quote. Well, these allegations come as the former head of the state personnel cabinet under former Governor Beshear admits to taking kickbacks. Tim Longmire pled guilty to bribery this afternoon. In court today, Longmire admitted to both soliciting and accepting more than $200,000 worth of kickbacks from a consultant during his time with the state's personnel cabinet.
Cases like this, while they are unfortunate, send a very necessary message that when public servants fall short of that standard, their misconduct will be detected and they'll be prosecuted.
Longmire faces up to 10 years in prison. He will be sentenced August 18th.
Donald Trump won big in the New York Republican primary tonight. Trump needed a decisive victory in his home state to give him a better chance of securing the GOP nomination before the convention. And Hillary Clinton wins for the Democrats. CBS's Weijia Jiang has the latest now from Manhattan.
CBS News projects Donald Trump is the big winner of New York's Republican primary. The New York City native defeated Ohio Governor John Kasich and Texas Senator Ted Cruz. CBS News estimates Trump is on his way to winning most of the 95 delegates at stake tonight.
We're going to end at a very high level and get a lot more delegates than anybody projected, even in their wildest imagination.
Exit polls show a wide majority of New York Republicans say if no candidate has enough delegates to clinch the nomination before the convention, it should go to the one who has the most votes.
Trump leads in the polls in 5 more Northeast states, including Pennsylvania, which hold their primaries next week. Cruz is campaigning in Philadelphia.
This is the year of the outsider. I'm an outsider.
For the Democrats, CBS News projects Hillary Clinton won her adopted home state, defeating Brooklyn native Bernie Sanders. Clinton cast her own ballot this morning near her Chappaqua, New York home.
This has been a joy during the last 2 weeks to be here all over the state.
Sanders is campaigning in Pennsylvania.
We beat Donald Trump by wider numbers than she does.
According to CBS News exit polls, one thing voters from both parties agree on, the economy is the top issue in the campaign. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, New York.
And next up for the presidential candidates, Connecticut's primary next Tuesday.
New tonight, dozens of people face charges after investigators say a Madison County bar was allowing minors to drink alcohol. The Alcoholic Beverage Control says they investigated College Station Bar on South 2nd Street in Richmond for 2 months. Investigators say the bar even had 2 underage bartenders. Monique Blair has the story new at 11.
Cops just kind of surrounded the street. Early Saturday morning, after a 2-month investigation, the Richmond Police Department, the Madison County Sheriff's Department, and the Kentucky Department of Alcoholic Beverage Control executed a search warrant at the College Station Bar.
We just kind of stared out here and just saw people coming in and out for hours.
Police say 2 bartenders, a 16-year-old and a 20-year-old, were serving alcohol and were also intoxicated.
They came in, turned the lights on, turned the music off, and made everyone line up.
The owner of the bar, Marion Robinson, was arrested along with 3 other people. But in addition to that, 109 people were given citations.
It was huge. Like, almost all of my friends got them.
EKU student Emma Jordan was not at the bar the night of the raid, but she says although the bar itself does not sell alcohol, the owner often allows underage people to drink alcohol that was brought inside the building.
He's always there, and he's always drinking and smoking a cigarette, just walking around, just smoking a cigarette with everyone. Like, he doesn't care. He doesn't question you. Like, the people working the front desk are fraternity people. They're not owners or anything.
Police say all 109 of those citations were handed out to minors. Robinson was charged with 1 count of license required to traffic in alcohol and also 109 counts of unlawful transaction with a minor. In Madison County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
And police have not said yet whether or not the College Station bar will be allowed to reopen.
Funeral arrangements are now set for a cardiologist killed in a crash over the weekend in Bourbon County. Dr. David Cassidy owned a private practice on Harrodsburg Road while working at St. Joseph Hospital in Lexington. His son tells us Cassidy moved to Lexington in 1990 after he served in the Army. Cassidy was riding his bicycle on Lexington Road in Paris when he was hit by an SUV.
He loved being outdoors on it and just on the roads, biking. He was training for a 100-mile bike race down in Tennessee next month. How many people in their 60s can do that?
Dr. Cassidy's funeral will be held on Friday morning at 11 at Christ Church Cathedral. There will be a reception from 12 to 2 at the Hunt Morgan House.
Still ahead on WKYT News, criminal charges could soon be filed in connection to Flint's water crisis.
Plus a view from up above. A look at the largest solar facility in the state coming up in about 10 minutes.
Losing a leg can be devastating, but choosing to stand can be life-changing.
I'm alive, and that's all that matters.
A lesson in adapting dreams when life takes an unexpected turn, Thursday at 6 on WKYT.
When big news breaks, be the first to know. Download the WKYT News app and turn on push alerts. Breaking news at your fingertips when you need to know what's going on. Push alerts, now available on the WKYT News app.
If you've been injured in an accident, hurt on the job, or the victim of medical malpractice, visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
At Paul Miller Ford, we want all our customers to drive happy.
We had 3 Explorers. We had a 96 Explorer, we had a 2013, which I drive now, and then my husband drives a 2007 Sport Track. My favorite thing about coming to Paul Miller is the service department.
That's why we're honored to win our 3rd Ford President's Award for Customer Satisfaction.
I love Paul Miller Ford.
And we love our customers. Get 0% financing for 60 months on Ford Explorers like Karen's. Point, click, drive at paulmillerford.com.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
Are you tired of juggling your finances and can't afford those remodeling projects? Ceramic tiles starting at 59 cents a square foot. Come on down to Surplus Sales for some great deals.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT. Get WKYT news and weather updates on Rewind 105.5. Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
First half of the week ready to come to an end, and what a first half it has been. Temperatures in the 80s and late evening thermometers are slowly dropping into the upper 60s for many spots. 65 Lexington, Richmond, a few degrees cooler at 68. Look at eastern Kentucky. Several spots still greater than 70 degrees late this evening. Jackson leading the charge at 73 degrees. How about the next 24 hours? Up and at 'em tomorrow morning. Similar to this morning, 50s to start. Quick jump into the upper 70s, if not some out-and-out low 80s for a high temperature coming up tomorrow afternoon, when you have about this much of a chance for a little isolated shower or a thunderstorm, courtesy of the southerly winds that will begin to crank ahead of our slow-moving storm. Every night this week, for the past 3 or 4 days, as a matter of fact, we've been showing you this same system that has been camping out west of the Mississippi River. It's been trying to throw a little moisture east of the Mississippi, but the air around here is bone dry, eating a lot of those raindrops alive before they get out into town. And as we look at our Defender radar network, nothing is showing up as of now. Fast forward button, 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, maybe some high clouds across the area. Quick jump into the upper 70s toward the low 80s. Now, I mentioned the chance for a little shower or isolated thunderstorm tomorrow. Small chance, but you see a little green showing up on your hour by hour. What happens, though, the flow becomes more southerly and then southwesterly. That will increase the humidity levels big time over the next few days. We're going to Thursday morning. Thermometers in the 60s. By the afternoon, we should start to at least see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. What will happen then on that southwesterly flow, really now targeting more Thursday night into Friday, for these rounds of showers and thunderstorms to gear up and roll through here. Look at 7 o'clock on Friday morning with temperatures that are into the upper 50s to low 60s. Then as we go through the day on Saturday, it's a little cooler out there as temperatures kind of hang around 70 with a threat for some scattered thunderstorms into the afternoon. That same computer model run that we're looking at has been alternating today between not showing a whole lot and then showing a little stripe of moisture with some very heavy rains into Friday morning. That run has some local 1 and 2 inch amounts showing up. Now, that's a far cry from what it was showing at 6 o'clock this evening, and we'll update that as we go through the day tomorrow as well. Overall, next 10 days, I mentioned how I think this pattern is going to turn a little stormier. This is one computer model that says over the next 10 days, the threat for repeat shower and thunderstorm action develops from the Plain States into the Ohio and Tennessee valleys. That obviously would put us into a more stormy pattern. I think that really kicks into high gear next week. Next few days, mainly dry until we get into Thursday night and Friday with a threat for showers and thunderstorms. Good news about all of this with the threat for some boomers, guys, for the next week. Notice they're dodging Saturday and Sunday. If you could pick it, that's how you would pick it,
I
right?
like that kind of timing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Chris.
As you can see, she just is a happy dog.
Yes, she is. After the break, a really, really good day for this pup. We'll get a look at Shay in her new wheelchair.
Sunny days are here again. Visit the Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond for all your gardening needs. Seeds, starter plants, bulbs, and more. Great gardens start here. Visit the Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond.
Step right up for something fun. For just $1, the excitement's begun. The game's called Keno, and you can play it in an alley. Or you can play it with your best friend, Sally. You can play it here or there. You can play it almost anywhere. Play with many numbers or just a few. How you play is all up to you. You can put down a little or put down a lot. So what do you say? Give Keno a shot. Just pick your numbers and hope you win, and a few minutes later, you can play it again. Now you can play Keno wherever Kentucky Lottery games are sold. Fueling imagination, funding education.
Hey, honey. You remember to lock the Buick, right?
Of course I do. I'd never forget that.
The Buick Remote Link app, now available in every Buick.
You closed all the apartment windows, too.
Come on. Really?
You're the best.
Current lessees, switch to Buick and get this low-mileage lease on this 2016 Encore for around $189 per month. Visit your Bluegrass Buick dealer today.
Spend an evening with James Taylor and his all-star band. The American icon is back on tour. April 24th, Rupp Arena. The multiple Grammy Award-winning James Taylor and a night full of his biggest hits. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. James Taylor, another Beaver production.
We hid cameras in 2 different cars, the Chevy Equinox with built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi and the Ford Escape without.
Chocolate chip, chocolate chip.
Keep your legs down. Athena, put your leg down, please.
Chevrolet is the first and only car company to bring built-in 4G LTE Wi-Fi to cars, trucks, and crossovers.
Find your tag and get a total value of $2,250 on this Chevy Equinox. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Having trouble with your lawn equipment? Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond has the answer. Whether you need us to service your older power equipment or replace it with the latest still technology, visit the Bluegrass Ace Hardware in Richmond.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
We have an update now to a story we told you about earlier in this newscast. The Fayette County coroner has identified a man killed in a crash on Old Richmond Road this evening.
The coroner says 61-year-old Joseph Gerard died when his motorcycle was hit head-on by a truck. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. A passenger on the motorcycle and the driver of the truck were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Funeral arrangements for Gerard are pending.
New tonight, we have learned that charges could soon be filed in connection to the water crisis in Flint, Michigan.
WKYT in Flint reports that criminal charges could come as early as tomorrow. One of those charges has to do with falsifying official government documents. Reports indicate that one employee of Flint's water department could be charged along with 2 mid-level engineers with the state's Department of Environmental Quality.
State police are investigating after they found a body in a burned southern Kentucky home. Officer Don flew over the damage today in Sky First. Troopers say the man's body was found inside the home along Maiden Bend Spur Road in Whitley County on Monday morning. They believe the fire happened sometime late Sunday into Monday, but there are no witnesses. The body has not been identified, but neighbors believe the victim is the man who lived in the home.
I'd worked over and done his driveway, grading his driveway and stuff, and talked to him a little bit, and he was telling me about his situation living over there, you know, and everything. So, I mean, he was a good guy.
An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow. The cause of the fire is also unknown at this time. New tonight, firefighters in Laurel County were busy this afternoon. The Keevee volunteer firefighters were called to a home on Bentley Road off Highway 312. Crews say the fire destroyed the home. No word on any injuries. Firefighters are still investigating what caused that fire.
We are getting a look from up above tonight of a solar energy facility. Check out this video from Sky First of the 50-acre plot in Mercer County. LG&E and Kentucky Utilities crews have been working on the facility for months. When it's done in June, it will have more than 44,000 panels. The panels will provide enough energy for 1,500 homes, and it will be the biggest solar energy facility in the state. The facility will be fully operational by June 1st.
A Menifee County dog is getting a second leash on life. A Menifee County shelter has been taking care of a 2-legged dog for weeks now.
Yeah, check this out. Shay, the chocolate lab mix, ran away from her owners, got lost in the woods, and fractured both of her legs, and she needed them amputated. Well, the shelter's been trying to raise money to get her a wheelchair, and last week they finally got one.
People all over the United States within 48 hours donated enough money to pay her vet bill and to pay for the wheelchair.
Shay's wheelchair came all the way from Massachusetts. It cost about $700. Shay was fitted into the wheelchair this week, and today she took it for a spin. It looks like she has always had those 2 wheels on. She is having no problems whatsoever.
That tail is moving back and forth. She is so happy.
Very happy.
Coach John Calipari out on the recruiting trail, Rob.
And as always, he is going after the top prospects. Word that he has made an offer, and the Cats and Cards in a wild one tonight over in Louisville. Key plays from start to finish. The highlights are coming up next in sports.
Have something that needs investigating? Email us or call the WKYT Investigates tip line.
What we do is not about sickness. It's about living. Because you were made to live and live well. Let us show you how care is supposed to be. Lexington Clinic, your doctors for life.
Kentucky's 40th Annual Shriners Hillbilly Days Festival, April 21st through 23rd in Pikeville, Kentucky. 3 live stages of music, carnival rides, 300 vendors, a car show, and the Shriners Parade Saturday. The 40th Annual Hillbilly Days Festival, April 21st through 23rd in Pikeville, Kentucky.
If you're in a car accident and searching for a lawyer, you need to ask that lawyer 3 questions. 1, have you practiced law in Kentucky your entire legal career? 2, have you recently tried a case in a Kentucky courtroom? And 3, have over a dozen of the nation's largest insurance companies retained you to try their cases? At Golden Law Office, we can answer yes to all these questions. Put our inside knowledge to work for you. Call us today for a free consultation.
Wednesday night's Powerball jackpot is $227 million.
Hi, Shane Huffman with Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort, where today you can lease a brand new 2016 Honda CR-V for just $259 a month. Plus, we're going to back all our deals with our 110% price protection guarantee. That's Neil Huffman Honda in Frankfort. Huffman has it.
You may be surprised to learn that you do not owe us a fee unless we win at trial or are able to obtain a fair settlement for you. So if you've been injured in an accident, hurt on the job, or the victim of medical malpractice, you don't owe us a fee unless we win your case. And your initial office visit with us is absolutely free. My family has represented you and your families for almost 30 years now. Today, we are honored to help you when you need us most. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
I could get used to this.
I could get used to this.
The luxuriously transformed 2016 Lexus ES and ES Hybrid.
I could get used to this.
Once you experience this level of luxury,
I could get used to this.
there's no going back. Lease the 2016 ES 350 for $339 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Shouldn't you have a checking account that makes your life easier? Introducing Easy Checking from Republic Bank. Relax with no minimum balance or monthly maintenance fee. Easily send money through our app with mobile pop money. Remembering your password is as easy as scanning your fingerprint or eye using iPrint ID. And for easy access to your money, you can use 85,000 surcharge-free ATMs worldwide. Easy Checking for your hard-earned money. We're Republic Bank, and it's just easier here.
May 3rd and 4th, EKU Center for the Arts. Get tickets at EKUcenter.com.
They played last week in Lexington. Tonight, UK and U of L going at it in Louisville. Pick it up in the first inning. The Wildcats get on the board. Kentucky's leading hitter, Zach Rex, hits it a ton to right off the wall. Evan White comes in to make it a 1-0 game. Now up 2-0, a play you may never see again. The ball popped up to shallow right. Luke Becker going out, Tristan Pompey coming in. They collide, but Storm Wilson is there to catch it and save the day. What a play, what a catch. We move on to the 7th. Kentucky leading 4-1, make it 5-1. Wilson delivers the RBI single into right. In the Louisville half of the inning, things get close in a hurry. The Cardinals' Corey Ray powers a shot to the deepest part of the park. 2-run homer, Ray's 11th of the year. 5-4 Kentucky. 2 batters later, Brendan McKay hits a towering shot to right. Marcus Carson tracking it. He is only 5'7", and the little man from London robs McKay of a home run, and the inning is over. Now, Kentucky helps the Louisville cause in the 8th. Tying run at 3rd, wild pitch, a run scores, we are tied 6-6. And we go on to the 9th inning. Former Tates Creek Commodore, Mr. Baseball, Devin Hairston, jumps on the first pitch, hits it back up the middle, play at the plate. Cullen Lyman beats the throw by inches, and they mob Hairston there at the plate. Tough loss for the Wildcats tonight as they fall 7-6 over in Louisville. Kevin Knox, a 5-star small forward out of Tampa, Florida, now has an offer from John Calipari. Calipari made an in-home visit last night. Knox goes 6'8", 195. Depending on which recruiting service you look at, he is rated either the 6th or 7th best player in the nation. He is also being pursued by some pretty good schools. North Carolina, Duke, and Florida State are in the mix. On to football. The Kentucky offense is now run by Eddie Gran, and he spent the spring installing a new pro-style offense that will be up-tempo. Gran has known Mark Stoops for a long time. He brings a lot of enthusiasm to the field, and he will tell you that he will get on his players pretty hard.
I mean, I get after our running backs pretty hard. They've got the worst. They've got the brunt of it. But we laugh a lot. You know, I make sure that. I make sure I tell them I love them. You know, and if somebody does something wrong and I chew their rear end, I try my hardest. By the end of the practice, I find something good that he did, and I'm going to pat him on the rear end and say, hey, that's a good job.
Reds and the Rockies going at it again tonight in Cincinnati, tied 1-1 in the second. Billy Hamilton sends one down the left field line on the double. Jay Bruce and Tyler Holt score 3-1 Reds. Zach Cozart base hit to score Hamilton. It was 4-1. On the mound, Robert Stevenson pitched 7 innings of 3-hit ball in only his second major league start. Great job by Stevenson. Cincinnati hangs on to win it 4-3. NBA playoffs, Boston at Atlanta in the early going. Kent Bazemore comes up with a steal and then lets it go, and it rolls around and around and around the rim and in. Still in the first quarter, Kyle Korver just knocked down threes from all over. The Hawks went up 24-7 at the end of the first, lowest scoring first quarter by a team in the playoffs since the NBA went to the shot clock. Hawks go on to win it 89-72. Atlanta leads the series 2-0. Steph Curry has no structural damage to his ankle. He had an MRI today, but he is still questionable for Thursday night's third game of the series against Houston. We'll be right back.
If you've been injured in an accident, your injuries can last a long time, even a lifetime. Visit forthepeople.com. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
With a heavy-duty welded steel deck and exclusive smooth track steering, the Hustler Raptor zero-turn mower doesn't play around. It's got the power to turn your weekend to-do list into your weekend to-done list. The legendary Hustler Raptor family starting at just $27.99. Tools, not toys.
Get your Hustler mower at Pat's Garden Center in Stanford and Big M Discount in Whitley City.
Kentucky Lottery's Keno, the exciting way to have fun with your friends every 5 minutes.
Fueling imagination.
Funding education.
I've always dreamed of owning my own business, but it takes a lot of work to make a dream come true. Luckily, my John Deere dealer made it easy. My 3E tractor handles every job I needed to, without breaking a sweat. And the money I saved lets me know I'm doing something right.
Introducing the best-in-class, no-cost 6-year powertrain warranty on John Deere compact tractors.
Save at Limestone with an E-Series mower and loader tractor package. Find details in a store near you at limestoneflw.com.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Now get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned, just $99.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
I don't want to live with the uncertainties of Hep C.
Or wonder whether I should seek treatment. I am ready.
Because today, there's Harvoni, a revolutionary treatment for the most common type of chronic hepatitis C. Harvoni is proven to cure up to 99% of patients who've had no prior treatment. It's the one and only cure that's 1 pill once a day for 12 weeks. Certain patients can be cured with just 8 weeks of Harvoni. With Harvoni, there's no interferon, and there are no complex regimens. Tell your doctor if you have other liver or kidney problems, HIV, or other medical conditions, and about all the medicines you take, including herbal supplements. Taking amiodarone with Harvoni may cause a serious slowing of your heart rate. Common side effects of Harvoni may include tiredness, headache, and weakness. I am ready to put Hep C behind me.
I am ready to be cured.
Are you ready? Ask your Hep C specialist if Harvoni is right for you.
Thanks for coming today. I want each of you to grab a 2x8 and cut it. You'll have 2 saws to choose from. You all chose the best tool for the job. Wouldn't it make sense to make the same choice when it comes to your truck?
Absolutely.
Yep. This is the 2016 Chevy Silverado.
Nice.
A good-looking pickup.
Incredible.
I love it.
Find your tag and get a total value of $9,000 on this Silverado Double Cab All-Star. See your Kentucky Select Chevy dealers.
Stay connected to the news that matters to you. WKYT.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is less than a minute away right here on WKYT. And tonight's guests include Kevin Spacey, one of my favorites, and actor Thomas Middleditch.
All right. Tomorrow, another Warm one?
The emojis are happy again tomorrow. There's a slightest chance for a late day shower. Temperatures right around 80 degrees, if not a few low 80s. Never too early to look ahead toward the weekend, and we keep the sunglasses going. 73 Saturday, 80 on Sunday. Right now, weekend looks dry.
We are threatening to wear the sunglasses right here on the set, so
We're
be prepared.
We're going to get the big clown
I was going to say the emojis are getting used to the sunglasses for sure. Thanks so much for joining us here tonight. We will see you back here tomorrow.
Have a good night.